Hey everyone, it is Tanya. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you are new here. Today we are back with another speed build, and this is actually going to be a share house for two siblings and their families sharing a house. If you're not familiar with a share house, essentially it's where there is a shared living space where that's like the kitchen, living room, dining area that is all shared, but there are separate bedroom spaces. And I thought it would be cute to have siblings raising their families together in this sort of home, and it was a lot of fun to build. I actually built this last night over on Twitch, so you might recognize it if you were there. And I may have started a build before this one and it wasn't coming out, and then we ended up with this structure. But that's just kind of how it goes sometimes. Sometimes you end up bulldozing many times. But if you are interested in joining us in the future and being part of the process and watching things come together in real time, suggest things along the way, all of that, I do stream on Twitch 5 days a week now. I stream on Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time and on Sundays at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you'd like to join us in the future, I would love to have you. But anyway, the structure here is starting to come together. It's very symmetrical on the outside, which I struggled with a lot because I don't like how symmetry looks, and I feel like it just doesn't look as interesting when things are symmetrical. However, this home does end up being fairly symmetrical on the outside. It just took me a little while to figure out how to make it look okay. But inside, the living space is a little bit more, I don't know, it's open and not perfectly symmetrical, but the living space or the bedrooms on either side are, if that makes sense. This ends up being a 2-bathroom, 4-bedroom home. I was imagining that there were siblings who may or may not be living with their significant others, and then one of them has a child and one of them has an infant. So those were the ages of the children I was imagining in this home. But who you have for the Sims is totally up to you. And of course, I assume anyone that watches these videos, if you decide to download the builds, you probably customize them to your families anyway. And speaking of which, if you would like to download this, it is available on the Sims 4 gallery. You can find it under my EA ID, which is Gryphi, Gryphi. You can also find it under the hashtag Gryphi, and that information will also be in the description down below as well. So anyway, on the front porch here, I do end up changing the columns. They just weren't working for me. The red was just not correct. I really wanted it to be like clean and white. I know I tried a few different colors going on here, but I wanted something like really cozy and comforting on the outside. I just wanted it to be a cute family home. It's a little bit of a different family dynamic, and I always enjoy doing that. I've done quite a few homes in the past that were like kids being raised by their grandparents, or like aunt and uncles, or multiple generations living in one house. And I always get requests to do more of them. So if you have anything in specific that you would like to see, definitely let me know. I'm always getting ideas from the comments and trying to implement those into builds. I love reading your comments and coming up with things to fit them. So yes, definitely let me know. I believe this was originally a suggestion as well as a share house. And I've built one before, but I think it's been a really long time since I did this. And I've definitely never done one in this style. I definitely think of them more as like modern exteriors. Let me know if that's something you would like to see as well, if you'd like to see some more share houses, because this was so fun. But I think the exterior of this came out really cute. We are building in the world of Sequoia, which of course came with the newest expansion pack, Growing Together. So I tried to fit the build to be sort of the style of this world, which is mostly like craftsman inspired homes, and that's one of my favorite styles. I think they are so cozy and adorable. So that's what we did here. I also really loved the wallpaper that I put in the pitch of the roof at the top on all sides of the build. That is a wallpaper from Snowy Escape, but I just thought it was like exactly the right pattern I wanted up there, just like the little stripes. So I quite enjoyed that, and we're working on the landscaping now. I just used a lot of greens, a couple of these lavender bushes as well. Tried to make it look kind of natural, but not too overgrown. I wanted it to feel manicured, but natural, if that makes sense. You can let me know if I achieved that. I also added these rocks here to kind of look like they're holding that space in, and I decided a swing set out front would be really cute for the Sims kids that are living here. And I decided to put that in the front yard because there wasn't really going to be space in the backyard for there to be a backyard. So I decided, You know, the one thing I was going to have was in the front, and then I decided to actually pull the house back to meet the back corners instead of having that back porch back there. So it extended the interior space, which I appreciated. So I had more space to allow for all of the living area, and I needed it. Honestly, the inside of this house is smaller than I was anticipating it being, so I'm glad that I did that. But anyway, here I'm just getting a fence over on the left side of the build. I just thought it added a little bit more visual interest to this home, and I only put it on that side. The other side ends up having like a little driveway sort of place that you could park a car. Every once in a while I get questions from y'all where I get the cars. They are in the debug menu or the show live edit objects menu. They're not functional. They're like the ones you see driving around on the roads in the background of different worlds. So they're just fake cars. I just think they look nice and add that little touch of realism to builds. So I sometimes add them as like a little driveway or in a garage that I make and things like that. But that's where I got that one. There's a bunch of them from base game. This one in particular is from Get Together. There's some that came with Cottage Living as well, but they're all in the live edit objects catalog. So they're not going to be in the regular catalog. And like I said, they are not functional. They're just a decorative item. But right now I'm just getting some more landscaping. We also got a mailbox as well as a couple of trash cans outside. And then I'm trying to figure out where to put the staircase inside. And I also had no idea what I was going to make upstairs be, because the way I have this laid out makes sense for us having the bedrooms downstairs, not upstairs. And so I really wasn't sure at first, but what ends up being upstairs is a sort of like playroom mixed with an office space. I was kind of thinking maybe that's where the kids go to work on homework and stuff and the adults can supervise, and you know, that's where the family computer is. But in this main area, you enter in through the kitchen. The living room is going to be through the back. And then off to each side, we have a little hallway that leads you into 2 bedrooms. We have the bigger one on each side for the parents and then the smaller one for the kids. I'm just throwing some beds in there so I remember what I am going to have those rooms be. And then we kind of box in the staircase. And then I'm just trying to figure out the layout. So I do end up using some base game counters in here. I think they worked nicely for the style I was going for. I just wanted some like warm browns in here, and I think it looks so cozy. I actually really like the layout of this kitchen. I feel like I've been really enjoying a lot of the kitchens I make recently, so that's been fun because kitchens have always been my favorite to decorate. So experimenting with some more styles and orientations for them has been so cool. Anyway, upstairs I just blocked off where that bathroom is going to go, but I'm not going to be decorating that just yet. I'm just going to work on the kitchen here first. I tried blocking it off and like making it its own separate room and putting an archway, but in the end it just didn't feel right. So I do end up opening this back up, and the upstairs is very much open concept, which I really enjoyed. I feel like that works nicely for this concept as well, because there's like more space for the 2 families to hang out and really bond, and it just sounds kind of fun. I like this idea. Basically, your Sims are going to be able to grow up with their cousins, and that's not something I ever experienced, but I know a lot of people have that experience, and I think in The Sims it's really fun to have those different family dynamics and get-togethers and all of that. But this takes it to another step where you're having them live all under one roof, and I feel like this would be a fun one to play in. Definitely let me know if you've played with multiple generations or more extended family like this living under one roof. I'd be very interested. Anyway, I'm just adding a table here in the kitchen. This is one that came with Growing Together. I think it's really cute, and I paired it with some chairs from, I believe those are from Dream Home Decorator. And then I just got some like kids clutter on the table, and I believe I get a backpack as well. And then when we move into the living space, it takes me a little while to figure out how I wanted to decorate it, because I liked the idea of these Sims moving in together, but they had previously had their own spaces, whether that was a house or an apartment. So they each brought their own furniture, so it doesn't perfectly match. So you'll see that here. I was like thinking we'd have 2 different couches, and I was having trouble fitting them. So we end up having a couch and some armchairs, but they don't really match. You'll see what I mean as I place them down. I feel like it looks cozy and eclectic at the same time, since it is supposed to be like a mixture of 2 different families' items. But it's not too clashy, I guess. I felt like they went together quite nicely anyway. This is not the two couches I end up using. I do end up using that, the one from Growing Together that I have out right now with the blanket on the back, but I don't end up keeping the couch from the basement kit because it was too big. But I do end up getting another piece of furniture from that kit, which is the armchair. I thought it was perfect. It's like an old recliner. It feels pretty realistic for this sort of house, and so that's what I put over here. And then we're going to be getting another armchair from Cats and Dogs. Different style, doesn't quite match, but it also feels like it's supposed to be there. I just liked the idea of that. We have the TV off in the corner. I also used a bunch of these frames around the house that you could put family portraits in. It just feels like this household would probably have a lot of that. I also, of course, placed some toys around, as well as that little play mat for infants, since I was imagining there was an infant in this household. And I just think this space looks so cozy. I have a couple more decorations to grab. We get like the old lamp. We have the parenting board. I should be putting some decor on the table as well. And I, of course, put plants absolutely everywhere because I can't help myself. But I overall just felt like this home felt very happy and cozy. And I just think this looks like an adorable space for a family. Definitely let me know what you think, though. I feel like it's always hard for me to tell because I might enjoy it and then you might think it's a hideous house. I don't know. But I think this one came out really cute. I also added a height chart over in this corner so they could keep track of all the kids' heights. I thought that was quite cute. I ended up going with this one, which I think is from My First Pet Stuff, and then I got a clock up there as well. This is the downstairs bathroom. It's right off of the entryway, and I have everything you would need in here. So there's a shower tub combo, sink, toilet, all of that. I didn't put a toddler potty in this house because I didn't know where I wanted to put it. There's plenty of space for one. But the house I was imagining had an infant in it right now, so they're not quite ready for potty training. So I just didn't include that, but that's an easy thing to add if you decide to live in this house and your sim ages up to a toddler, or you're moving in with a toddler. That's all of the options that that's easy. That's an easy item to add. Anyway, upstairs now. This is that sort of open room I had mentioned. I don't know what to call this, like a playroom, an office, a rumpus room. I've been using that word a lot lately, but I think this space came out pretty cute. I just put a couple of different items for your kids to play with. There's a toy box as well as a dollhouse. There's this like Lego table that came with Parenthood, and of course a desk over in the corner for your Sims to work on whatever they need to there. I feel like studying on the computer up here as an adult while kids are playing would be a little bit distracting, but I liked the idea of it being like a family computer and being more in a space like this. This is pretty realistic to what I experienced growing up. There was like the family computer and like a bunch of other stuff all around. It wasn't in like a quiet space. So that's kind of what I was channeling up here, I suppose. I also got some decals on the wall, as well as the calendar and some pens and pencils and, you know, more kids clutter. I wanted it to look lived in, but it's not overly cluttered. I wanted it to not look too busy either or too messy, but, you know, there's a couple of things out and about. And then I get some more of those picture frames that I had added downstairs to really add plenty of space for your Sims to put portraits all around. I don't think I show the bathroom upstairs, but we're downstairs now and we're working on the bedroom. Sorry for the spinning camera. I thought I cut all of that out. But anyway, this is the infant's room. It's very green and dinosaur themed. I think it's quite cute. I had a lot of fun with this. I also decided all of the bedrooms were going to have carpeting in them, which is not something I do very often. So it was a little bit of a challenge to try and make it still look kind of nice. You can let me know what you think of that. But I decided to get a height chart in here as well. But this is not the one I kept because we also got a dinosaur height chart with the Growing Together pack. And I thought it was a much cuter one. So that's the one I ended up grabbing. But we're going to be moving the door over so we could fit in this changing table and, of course, get a trash can next to it. And a couple other decorations. We end up having a rocking chair in here. There's that other decal I had mentioned. I think it is so cute. I really like that height chart, and I got some more dino decals over here. It's not too cluttered of a room. I mean, it's for an infant. They're not going to be using too much of the space yet anyway. But I think it's a decent size, and I like the colors in here, especially the pops of orange. I thought that they were so cute. I always forget that little basket of diapers from base game exists, so I was glad I remembered for this one. It just is a nice decoration that looks quite realistic for the space, so plopped that down in here, and then I should be getting a rug in here as well. Yeah, this little dinosaur one, I just thought it was so cute. But this is going to be their parents' bedroom. I ended up going with this bed from City Living in the cream and purple swatch, which is really, really pretty. And just kind of pulled on that purple a little bit in the curtains. And it ends up being pretty generic. I didn't really want to say each of these rooms was like for a specific sim with a specific career or interests. I wanted to keep it pretty open so that way you could have this be for whoever you'd like to move into it. Obviously, the kids' bedrooms are a little bit more personality based because that's just kind of the nature of kids' items. I guess I could have gone super generic, but that wouldn't have been as much fun. But the parents' bedrooms are a little bit more on the generic side. I just have like some books and stuff around and some like miscellaneous clutter. We have a set of jewelry up here as well as like a memory box. There's even a bookcase in here. It's pretty simple though. I do really like this room. I also put a yoga mat, just a cluttered little room, but like not messy. And yeah, I got a clock on the wall, and then I think we should be heading to the other two bedrooms. Yes. So I immediately knew because of the swing set outside that I wanted to have a kids room that was a sim that really liked the color pink. So that is what we're working on now. I ended up changing the bed swatch here though. This is the bed from Seasons, and I love this swatch with the pink flowers on the curtain and like this teal color bedspread. I just think it is so fun. So that's what I ended up using here. And then we got a dresser next to the bed, a big fluffy pink rug, and I just get a lot of decor that is very pink. So that's what you can expect in this room. I think it's really cute. I quite like it. We have a little lamp up here. We're going to have a toy up there. I don't know what the guy is called. It's a toy I place down a lot. It's just a decorative piece. I believe it's from the kids' room pack. This one, it's so cute. I really like that. So I ended up putting that up on the dresser. I also have that flamingo poster, which is quite cute, and some more posters from the kids' room stuff pack. I should be grabbing those here any moment now to put over the bed. And I'm trying to think what else ends up being in this room. I know it's not very big, so we can't fit too much, but I did get this stuffed doll or dog doll, stuffed animal, Blurfy. It's not Blurfy, but I did get this big stuffed dog for your Sims to play with. And what else did we add in here? It's such a small room and I don't remember. Oh yeah, I got an ottoman over here in the window. I thought that would be a cute space for your Sim to sit down and just relax, maybe read, work on homework, all of that. And then some posters in the corner. And I think that's it for that room. Yeah. So we're moving on to the other bedroom for the parents. This one is a little bit more modern in style and like darker wood tones, but the pop of yellow I thought was so pretty. I really like how this bedroom came out, and I like how the bedrooms are just a little bit different in style. I feel like that helps to tell the story of like the two different furniture styles coming together in this house. It's not overly dramatically different, but they're a little bit mismatched, and that's what I was going for in this build. I really enjoyed that. I love mismatched interior design. I just love eclectic spaces and things like that. Maybe I'll do another apartment like that sometime soon. There's some of my favorites. Anyway, that is pretty much it for this build. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe if you'd like to see more, and click that bell to be notified when I upload. Thank you so very much for watching. Please let me know what else you would like to see coming soon, and enjoy those screenshots, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye, everyone.